Total of 14 drivers of the 21 starters are still running on the racetrack. And of those 14, you've got 3, Bobby Hamilton, Ward Burton, and Kyle Petty, who are 1 lap down. Everybody else already in the garage area. They are rolling out onto the grassy area between the main straightaway there. You see it right there, center of your screen. That is the giant wheel that they will spin, and that wheel will dictate how many. 3 or up to 12 teams will have their positions inverted. Vanna White was unable to join us with that wheel tonight, so Glenn Jarrett has been imported to handle the chores. And actually, folks, he'll be handling it for the entire racetrack. Okay, Glenn will be on the public address system, and he will handle all of these ceremonies down there trackside as we determine how many teams will be inverting their starting spot. We're still 8 minutes and 45 seconds away from the resumption of the event. There's a big clock right there on the Winston Cup Message Center.
Fans used to vote on the inversion, but the fans always voted to invert. Sure, they want to see the fast guy in the back, and that's the way it is at most racetracks, local speedways on Saturday night. And if you're having a good time here at the Winston, a lot of what you're seeing is very similar to what you will see at your local Winston Racing Series Speedway, and there's probably one that's within driving distance of you. And strongly recommend go out, see it, you'll love it, it's fun.
Right at 100 tracks now on the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. You know, even the cars that are running well have problems.
A boo-boo.
Yeah.
A boo-boo in the back.
Just taping up the rear of the Home Depot Pontiac for Tony Stewart, who is now in 7th.
I don't think he knows that there's a rookie stripe in the back of that thing, the way he's running tonight.
Yeah. When we come back, we're going to roll that wheel and see who will be inverting their starting spots. Then we'll move on to segment number 2 of the Winston. That as soon as we come back.
What do you get for a 75th anniversary? The biggest sale in Ace history. The Ace 75th anniversary sale. Don't miss it.
You got feet that sweat for a living, and you get athlete's foot. Smart guys know comfort comes in yellow. New improved Desenex powder, it gets rid of the fungus and absorbs twice as much moisture as Tenactin. Desenex soothes while it cures for comfortable feet.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner removes stubborn brake dust easily. And Eagle One wet tire shine applies a clear high gloss shine instantly. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use premium Eagle One products exclusively?
When you're in the spotlight, you always want to look your best.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner and Eagle One wet tire shine for the perfect finish. Eagle One, are you ready for the attention?
Today we're going to learn the easy way to mow the lawn. This is a lawn. This is a boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn. Boy. Lawn boy. Easy, huh?
Lawn Boy. Easy to start, easy to use, easy to maintain.
Any questions?
Why are there 2 of you?
This is revolting.
What's the matter?
They're paying him for this.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Good? You can't even say the name of the product.
He can say it.
What are you talking about?
He's got a thick accent, you know,
Accent?
almost like European.
Hey, Ferret, let me hear you say Bud, nice and clear.
It sounded like Bud.
No, it sounded like...
I think your hearing's going low.
Oh, right. Hey, Ferret, could you lay a little wise on us?
Smooth, like a pro.
Absolutely. What was I thinking?
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Winston NASCAR's All-Star Race is being brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. By Lawn Boy, making mowing easier. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. This Bud's for you. Well, that is the Plinko board. They will drop a giant ball, and it'll determine exactly how many positions are going to be inverted. And by the way, folks, there are only 11 teams on the lead lap. So if the number 12 comes up, that'll mean everybody's position will be inverted. Glenn Jarrett is handling the proceedings on the PA system. Glenn?
Okay, for the benefit of you fans in the stands, this is Glenn Jarrett with TNN Motorsports, and we're down here at the entrance to the garage area, and here you see the Plinko board. First thing I want to know is how did you like that first segment of the 15th running of the Winston? I think it was pretty exciting. We certainly thought so on TNN. Well, we got that first 30-lap segment out of the way, and now it's time to invert the field. We're going to find out how many cars we will invert. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use this Plinko board. The inversion will be a number somewhere between 3 and 12, and it will be completely random. Now, this Plinko board is just like one that you might see on The Price is Right. It's 13 feet tall, 8 feet wide, and right up at the top of it is Andy Schindler. Excuse me, Andy. He is the president and CEO of R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. Now, Andy's going to drop a ball from the top of the Plinko board. The numbers 3 through 12 are right along the bottom of the board here. Of course, they're covered up right now, so we won't know until we remove the tape. But he's going to drop the ball. It'll fall through the pegs, and it's going to land on one of the numbers. Okay, Andy, let her go. And the ball's coming. It stopped. No, it's going to come on. I feel almost like Bob Barker on The Price is Right. Now, whatever number the ball lands on, we're going to invert that many cars. Here it is. It's on it. So it lands on number 6. So what's going to happen is we're going to invert the first 6 cars of the race. So however they finished in that last segment, those 6 cars will be inverted. Now, Cliff Panel, the president of RJ Sports Marketing Enterprise, will give us the official word. Cliff, looks like a 6.
Well, Glenn, it is a 6. We had, I believe it was 11 possibilities to invert, but it landed on 6, so the first 6 are going to invert, and that's what we'll be doing for this second segment, so it ought to be exciting.
Okay, there you have it. So 6 cars. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Glenn, thank you. And that means Terry Labonte will start on the pole. Then Jeff Bodine will be second. Dale Earnhardt third. Jeremy Mayfield fourth. Sterling Marlin fifth. And Jeff Gordon sixth.
We've heard your complaints about changing your oil filter, banging your knuckles, trying to grip that slippery filter. That's why Fram, America's #1 filter, now has Sure Grip, a rough textured top on our Extra Guard filter for easy gripping and installing. Only Fram has it.
It makes changing your oil filter a lot easier.
Fram oil filters. Pay a little more now or pay a lot later.
Introducing Bosch Platinum Plus 4. 4 electrodes. Pure platinum. Take your engine to a higher power. New Bosch Platinum Plus 4.
Friday night on TNN Motor Madness. It's the Monster Jam.
This is it. This is the TNN Super Bowl Motor Madness right here.
It's 16 ground-shaking monster trucks showing off in the Show Me stage. And the track will be a true test of skill and guts. It's a Monster Jam you don't want to miss. See what happens Friday night before Roller Jam on TNN Motor Madness.
Drivers, race teams, and race fans, the 99 Gene Simpson Racing Catalog is now available. For more information, call 1-800-71-RACIN or visit the Simpson website at SimpsonRaceProducts.com and join Team Simpson today. Mack Trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. Winnebago Industries, the official motorhome of TNN Motorsports. For information on Winnebago Industries products for the Winnebago Motorsports team, call 1-800-643-4892.
Now the 10-minute break between segments has concluded. The cars rolling off the pit lane. Let us begin our check of the pit road stories. Steve Burns.
Thanks, Eli. I was just talking to Greg Zipadelli, the crew chief, on the number 20 of Tony Stewart. They made some pretty significant adjustments to the car. They raised the track bar. They made an air pressure adjustment and put 2 rounds into the right rear. Tony was complaining that the car was extremely tight. There was also damage, and I could see it down here in his pits to the left rear corner of the car. The sheet metal had been pushed in, so that obviously affected the handling of the number 20 of Tony Stewart. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Even though Jeff Gordon won the first segment, his car was far from perfect. It was tight going into the corner, loose coming off. So they made some changes, nothing too drastic. They put 4 tires and fuel, of course, onto the car. They used a cooling unit to bring the engine temperature back down, and they made a chassis adjustment to the left side of the car. That's all they did. They did a lot of conversation, all between Jeff and Ray, just over the window, not even over the headsets, so that nobody else could pick up their scanner conversation. But no really drastic changes right now. Glenn?
Okay, thanks, Ralph. You know, just before that segment ended, we saw Bobby Hamilton, who was running up in the top 5 throughout most of it, come into the pits. The engine was shut off. He was out of fuel. Now, you wonder, how does he run out of fuel in 30 laps? Well, their car worked better on about a half load or a third of a load of fuel. So they started the race that way, certainly not anticipating all of the caution laps that we had to run. He simply ran out of gas. Tough break for him. Let's go to Larry McReynolds.
Well, Glenn, I talked to Dale Earnhardt myself, and pretty good run there. Finished 4th in the first segment. He said, Larry, I just can't turn the car down in the corner without really getting on the brake pedal, make the car turn, which when you hit the brakes, that'll make the car turn down. He said, and I pushed pretty bad off of turn 4. He said, I'm good off turn 2, so they raised the track bar and actually pulled the right front fender out just a little bit. That puts more front down for us. Jeff Bodine, who finished 5th, he'll start on the outside pole of this second segment. He said, Larry, I was just a little bit tight, not bad. They took about a half a round to bite out, so it'll be interesting to see if these adjustments make a difference. But the thing I learned, guys, with no more cars out there, there's no substitute for 4 tires in this thing. I think Sterling Marlin showed that, so I'd say at the end of this segment, we see that caution, you're going to see these cars hit pit road for 4 tires.
So a lot of different strategies playing out down on the pit lane as we are set to begin the second of the 30-lap segments. Now, the finishing order from this segment is exactly how they will start in that final 10-lap shootout. It'll be a heads-up start wherever you come across the line, and this segment is how you will begin that final 10 laps. Bill Elliott running in 10. One thing we can mention here, that you can make up a lap like you would in a normal race. Tough assignment, certainly, but should Bobby Hamilton, Ward Burton, Kyle Petty be in position to do so, they could make up a lap and get back on the lead lap as we go green in segment 2 of the Winston.
Jeff Bodine did not get a good start at all from the outside of the front row.
Dale Earnhardt did. He wants to get up in the lead. Jeremy Mayfield right now in the 12 is making it too wide as they go down the back straightaway.
Well, you just know Earnhardt's sniffing victory in this deal, as well as he is running tonight.
So Sterling Marlin there in that Coors car you see through the window of Tony Stewart's machine. Sterling's finished second 3 times in the Winston. I guess we get hit in the rear as, Jeffrey Bodine saves his race car right there. My goodness. A powerful move for the power team entry. That car was heading towards everywhere but straight. I was going to say when Tony Stewart got hit in the left rear, I guess you can also move, depending on how you get hit, it can also move that rear spoiler up in the air and really mess with everything.
Exactly, and when he got hit in the left rear corner, he automatically pushed the trunk lid and the spoiler up on the left rear, and that made it very tight for him.
He was lucky to get through that incident on the backstretch with that little damage. I mean, they were wrecking all around him, and Stewart did a marvelous job getting through all that.
Up ahead, way up ahead, you can see Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt. There they are in closer focus for you. They have 1 second on Jeremy Mayfield, a second and a quarter on Sterling Marlin, 1 6/10 on Jeff Gordon. You'll see all the numbers on that Napa scoring rundown, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Thank you for running. They'll let you know who's where here.
These guys are just following each other right now because they broke away from the group that were running side by side. They're just behind them back there. You can see that Jeremy Mayfield's making some great moves, and Jeff Gordon's moved into fourth already.
Ninth place for Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
Throttle right there, right down on the bottom. You'll hear him pick the throttle up. Very easy there. Off turn 4. Back towards the inside of the racetrack. Back out to the flag stand. Down low. Back out wide. Get a good angle into one and right back down on the white line.
Up front, battle for the lead. Still a good one. Dale Earnhardt as tight as possible. With 9/100ths of a second between the two. Couple car lengths at most.
Earnhardt, the only three-time winner of this event, has had a tough time of it here in the last few years. Last year it was a hard wreck, helicopter ride to the hospital. 95, he lost 2 motors and crashed with Darrell Walsh of another hard accident. Tonight, running second, challenging for the lead.
Terry Labonte, the 1988 winner of this event.
You would have to think Terry Labonte would be awfully good here at Charlotte because he had such a great run in Texas, a sister track to this racetrack. And you see Earnhardt looking to the inside as they head down the back straightaway.
For the lead. Earnhardt led laps 12 and 13.
Oh, Terry.
Man, what a battle.
The Iceman, huh?
A couple of KG veterans. This is what we've all come to see.
An Iceman and an Intimidator, side by side.
They both respect each other, though, and they don't mind running side by side as Earnhardt takes a position going into turn 3. So far. Here comes As they do that, Jeremy Mayfield moves in the 12 car.
Oh, the 5 is still leading. Terry Labonte. Terry's just getting off the corner better than Earnhardt right there.
And so is Jeff Gordon. He's right there now.
He sure is.
Ralph, when Terry jumps on the button, man, he's going.
Eli, this is a real credit to the crew led by Andy Graves and the Hendrick Motorsports crew, that number 5 car. Remember at the beginning of the show, I told you how evil handling that race car had been all day and how Terry Labonte was going to have to be the Iceman and be patient to get through that first 30-lap segment so that his crew could go to work on the car. They can't make any more adjustments to the car during the Winston breaks than they can during a normal 500-mile race. It's just that there's more time to make more of the same types of adjustments so they can really fine-tune that car during that short little break. There's only about 6 things you can actually do to the car during one of these breaks.
NASCAR polices that very, very carefully.
And the longer they spend on pit road adjusting that race car, the greater the probability is that they're going to come out of the back of the lead lap cars as well. Those pit stops are going to be absolutely critical between this segment and the final 10-lap segment.
We are 40 laps complete. Lap 60 will make up the end of 2 segments. Labonte and Earnhardt, Andy Graves, all watching.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere in America. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go driving. Use Pennzoil. Formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
CNN salutes the fastest tracks on Earth in a century of motorsports.
Here they go. They're starting to make a move down into turn 1. Here comes Ernie Irvin on the bottom side.
Imagine going fast enough to cover the length of a football field every second in a stock car. No need to use your imagination. Daytona International Speedway and the Talladega Superspeedway can fit the bill. Those super tracks were envisioned by Bill France Sr. years before anybody else could see the potential for such speed palaces. Daytona opened in 1959 to rave reviews and a photo finish. 10 years later, Talladega opened to a boycott by drivers who felt the high speeds would cause major tire problems. Today, the super speedways are still in the news as carburetor restrictor plates cutting horsepower are in use to keep the speeds in check. For more on the century of motorsports, log on to country.com, your personal source for all things country.
This Century of Motorsports moment has been brought to you by Pep Boys. Cars like us, people love us.
New grill guard, Steve? I like it.
Thanks, Sally. I got it at Pep Boys. Hey, Sally, how about my chrome rims? Step bars, bug shield, tires, and wheels. Hey, Sally, hear that? Performance exhaust.
Love your car? Save $3 with Pennzoil. Buy 12 quarts of Pennzoil, get $3 back instantly.
Hey, Sally! Sally!
Sally moved. Hey, nice tow hitch.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Over-the-road transit for this broadcast provided by Ryder Transportation Services. Welcome back. We are live at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Second place up for grabs. Not anymore. Jeff Gordon takes it. Does Dale Earnhardt just sit calmly?
No. No. Earnhardt went down in that corner. Almost got in the back of Jeff Gordon as they were entering turn 3. But that allowed Tony Stewart to hit this group right here.
Fans still aren't sitting down. Neither is Larry McReynolds on pit road. He has the Fram Sure Grip pit report for us. Larry?
Well, Eli, I talked to Kevin Hamlin, crew chief for Dale Earnhardt. And as we talked earlier during the break, you know, they freed that car up just a little bit. But now he's saying, guys, I'm too loose. And this is something we see at Charlotte consistently. You'll be too tight. You'll keep freeing it up in little baby steps, and you jump across the fence. So right now he's loose as Tony Stewart goes by him for third place.
Indeed, he was loose. And you saw Tony's car cut down low and really get a good grasp of the racetrack. So that position swaps around there. Behind Terry Labonte, the race leader, took over at lap 31. We are now at lap 47. Just tuning in, Jeff Gordon won the first segment of the Winston. Third time that he has won the first segment. Went on to win one of the Winstons and then DNF'd in 97 when he'd also won the first segment of the Winston.
You know, these are teammates. You're watching first and second right now. Terry Labonte leading in the 5 car there. 24, of course, Jeff Gordon. But, you know, in a race like this, teammates mean absolutely nothing. It's the guy that wants to win the most. And you can see who wants to go on the outside. And Terry Labonte will pull back across, right, coming up out of the corner. But Jeff side by side as they come to the flag.
New leader, Jeff Gordon. So he takes the lead after Terry Labonte leads from lap 31 through lap 48.
It's Charlotte. Jeff Gordon's here. He's probably somewhere near the leader in it. He has had just an incredible run here at Charlotte right from the very beginning. Won his first race here, his first pole here.
The Attaboy Award goes to that number 20 car there, Tony Stewart. They're involved in an accident. They made some changes on that car, made aerodynamic changes on it, and now, right now, he is catching second place.
And give the attaboys to the crew, too, because those are the guys who were thrashing on the back of that race car during the 10-minute break between segments. We're 10 laps away from the end of this segment, and the way they finish this segment is how they'll go in the final 10 laps.
And even give some credit to his teammate, Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, who drove the car while Stewart was en route from Indianapolis. I mean, everybody has pulled together in that operation. And what a year they've had. Buddy and I talked to him in the trailer, and we asked if he had the kind of year he expected, and he just basically said that he is way, way ahead of what he anticipated. He had only hoped to qualify for all the races. And look, he's already got himself a pole and running as well as he is.
Rookie of the Year honors, one would assume virtually sewed up this early in the season. You saw Kyle going another lap down. Kyle Petty being bypassed moments ago. 14 cars on the racetrack, 11 on the lead lap. The others are in the garage after a plethora of first segment accidents.
A bunch.
That's it.
Okay. All right, you're sitting home. You're the crew chief. Play the role of crew chief now. You've got 8 laps to go.
Look at those numbers there. Last lap, Tony Stewart quicker than race leader Jeff Gordon on the stopwatches.
In 8 laps, if you were Ray Evernham, do you bring that 24 in, put 4 tires on it, or leave him in there and keep track position?
I think you got to bring everybody in, especially with this few cars on the lead lap.
I agree with both of you, and I will tell you that I think Jeff Gordon right now is looking in the mirror. He's running as fast as he needs to. I don't think he's pressuring that car right now, maybe make a mistake. I think he's driving a very smart race at this moment.
And now, if you do make the pit stop in the caution lap between segment 2 and 3, you don't get back your same position. Wherever you come off a pit road, it's like a regular race. Wherever you come off pit road, that's where you fall in line for the final shootout.
And as you're watching Gordon, if it appears as if the colors in his car change, they do. That's another one of those Chrome Illusion cars, that unique paint scheme that they've come up with by his sponsor. And as it hits different colored lights, picks up different colors. Purple, it's blue, it's orange, it's red, it's brown. Not your set.
And fast.
And fast.
Always fast.
One of the many DuPont Racing Team fans on hand looking on, and again, nobody's sitting down. That's not unusual for this spectacle.
Well, there were plenty to bring this car to the Coca-Cola 600 next weekend, but after the run it's had tonight, no wonder.
Well, you know, one thing about that team, they just rarely ever change from their game plan. Look at this scramble for second. Glenn, I don't know how much you can see from pit road, but Tony Stewart's given Terry Labonte all he wants.
Yeah, he is, and, you know, Terry Labonte's car was so strong earlier on. I just talked to Andy Gray, the crew chief, and Andy told me that the longer they run in this segment, the tighter the car gets. So that's the reason that Gordon was able to drive by him so easily. They're going to try to fix it with air pressure. They will come in and make that last critical adjustment. They hope it's exactly right to try to speed that car up for the final 10 laps.
Eli, you can see right here, Tony Stewart gains about 5 or 6 car lengths. That is because the car is extremely tight of Terry Labonte, so he has to go in the corner a little slower so he can pick the throttle up. If he goes in too hard, he'll push right up the racetrack.
As was the case in segment number 1. Here in segment 2, $50,000 to win the segment. $15,000 for the second place finisher, $7,500 the third. It was Gordon, Sterling, Marlin, and Jeremy Mayfield in that order in the first segment.
Oh, here we go.
Second place.
Look at this.
What a story.
A rookie in the Winston Cup division.
After qualifying at the Indianapolis 500 earlier today at some 220 miles an hour, flying back here.
Winning the Winston Open.
And now in second spot in the Winston, heading towards that final segment just moments away.
Will he get some experience in this division?
Lap 59 of 60. Look at that scramble. Jeffrey Bodine in the 60. The 3 of Dale Earnhardt. That is 5th place up for grabs.
You can see Earnhardt right now. He's really looking forward to making some changes on this car. It's very loose up out of the corner. What that means, the back end of the car is trying to come around on him all the time.
Well, there won't be any changes in position up front. $50,000 more to that man. Jeff Gordon. $15,000 more to Tony Stewart. Terry Labonte, $7,500 more. Brooke Gordon likes what she sees, and Joe Gibbs says, hey, we got 10 more laps to get the big payday. Don't count that youngster out. We are live at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Segment 2 of the Winston is in the books. The 10-lap showdown for all the marbles when we come back.
Oh, I'd like as much as they can put on it.
A lot of cheddar.
How much cheddar's enough?
Tons of it.
There's nothing better than cheddar.
So Wendy's new Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger is loaded with cheddar.
A lot of cheddar on that burger.
This is one heavy cheddar burger.
Along with 3 strips of hickory smoked bacon and sauteed onions, there are 2 slices of rich cheddar, plus a cheddar cheese sauce.
Nothing's missing from this burger.
Very cheesy.
There you go.
Wendy's new Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
You're gonna love it. When I lay awake at night, this is what I think about.
That makes 2 of us.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
With speed-sensitive steering, the White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control in the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider is.
The White Track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
After we ran the last practice last night, the car was just a little bit too tight, so we decided to change the brake spring, and we made some small... Sorry.
The MB&A Platinum 200, June 5th on TNN.
Hey, race fans, go for it. Catch Winston Cup Racing live. Be there in person with Great Atlantic Travel and Tour. Day trips, overnight trips, and new drives. Ride the Race Day Express with Great Atlantic Travel. Catch the action under the lights at Richmond or other action tracks like Daytona, Martinsville, Dover, and Charlotte. Prices start at $119 per person for the best value in sports trips. It's Great Atlantic Travel and Tour. Your ticket to NASCAR. 422-9001.
Hi, I'm Rick Hines for Patriot Buick Pontiac GMC. Patriot is the place. This is our mega sale. Prices are at invoice. The trucks are loaded. Now is the time to buy. All new Sierras, Suburbans, Yukons, crew cab dualies, work trucks, work vans, you name it, we've got it. We've got them all. They're all priced at invoice and ready to go today. Now is the time to buy at Patriot Buick Pontiac GMC, 212 2nd Street in Williamsburg.
Well, pit road just now opens here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Who does what? Do you take 2 tires, 4 tires? What's the gamble? The race leader, Jeff Gordon. Second place, that man, Tony Stewart. Steve Burns is there.
And Eli, they changed just right side tires and made a chassis adjustment to the right rear. So a bit of a gamble for Tony Stewart's team. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
And we're down in Terry Labonte's pits. Remember, he was tight, so they're making an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires, and they put just 1 round of wedge out, Ralph.
Well, they decided to take 4 tires on Jeff Gordon's car. As soon as he hit the pit box, Ray Evernham took a look down pit road to see what everybody else was doing, and he made the call off the box while they were already to the right side. 2 tires, they only went to work on 2, and they were back out in front of the field. A gutsy call by Ray Evernham after they had already decided to go with 4, Larry.
Well, Ralph, Dale Earnhardt, who had fallen back because of being loose, he definitely took 4 tires on. Major adjustments, but they did have some trouble on the pit stop. Now, Jeff Bodine, up to the last minute, they was thinking we're going to change 2 tires, try to get that track position, but the bad news for Jeff Bodine, he only has high gear. They went on and took 4 tires because they had to push him down pit road to get him going in high gear only, and that's going to be bad news for 10 laps because he's going to lose a lot of ground when they drop the green.
So some go with right sides only. Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Others go with a 4-tire change. Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and Jeffrey Bodine. There you see the unofficial running order and results through segment number 2. That's how they will start heads up in that final segment. As now we go down to Ralph Shaheen for our AutoZone Tech Fact. Ralph?
Eli, one of the things we're seeing coming along here in NASCAR racing is the use of computers. This is Ralph Miller of Jeff Gordon's crew. This computer down here is driving all of these monitors, including this big gas plasma screen you see up here. The screen itself is about $8,000. There's about $20,000 worth of equipment here. It also powers the screen up in top where Ray Evernham is sitting, so Ray can see our broadcast, as well as this big screen down here, which is about 42 inches wide, so the entire crew can keep an eye on what Jeff Gordon is doing. Now, they record everything on tape, take it back to the shop, and watch the broadcast, pick apart their pit stops and the race, and see how they can improve. Ralph Miller is the man that put all this together for the Hendrick team, and it travels to every one of the NASCAR Winston Cup races.
Intriguing. They also have that big scoring monitor there you might have seen. Nothing that NASCAR doesn't allow. Let's make that clear, but at the same time, that team always seems to be on the cutting edge of the latest technology.
They really are. They've come up with so many new inventions and so many new ideas. Ray Evernham constantly thinking of ways to do it better, and that has a lot to do with finishing up front.
I would like to ask Larry Mack one question. What is the difference in 4 tires and 2 tires on the watch?
Well, what we've seen here during this last week of practicing here and testing, I'm going to say it's going to be about 3 or 4 tenths at least, buddy. But I'm sure they made some major air pressure adjustments to get those right side tires caught up with the left sides. But the big thing with only 10 laps, if you can get a jump, you can get that jump out there, you may can hold them off for 10 laps, but it's going to be interesting.
In one more lap, we'll be settling the Winston. What do the drivers think about this final 10-lap shootout? Let's listen.
It really, in the end, is about the show. That's what racing really is. For the competitors, it's about winning. But we'd be winning in our backyards if we weren't putting on a great show. So the show is very important.
Your heart is really pounding for the last 10-lap segment because, I mean, you know that you're getting ready to run 10 laps as hard as you possibly can, and a lot of times you're going to take some extra risk that you wouldn't normally take. Like I said, there's a lot of money on the line. It's a real prestigious kind of one of those races where everybody wants to say, hey, I won the Winston.
Getting ready to get the green in that 10-lap segment is the most tense that I am all year. It's even more so than the Daytona 500, I believe, because you're anticipating a wild 10-lap shootout. Everybody's doing whatever they have to do to get to the front, and you're going to do the same thing. If you don't do that, you're going to get run over, so you might as well be a part of it and get involved.
Of that group of Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jarrett, only Gordon will be able to experience it tonight. Martin and Jarrett long since in the garage. 10 laps. Strap on, folks. Here we go. Get those seat belts tight. The shootout is underway.
Well, it didn't take them long to get 3 wide going down into turn 1.
High side for Mayfield in the 12.
Here comes Earnhardt on the bottom there with those new tires.
Caution is being put on the speedway.
I do not know what for.
Caution.
Wave them off.
The starter, in that case, that gentleman, Jimmy Howell, has to start the 3rd segment, the final segment of the Winston. The starter has to start the race. The driver, the lead driver, does not go when he chooses or anyone else. And they must wait, as the drivers were all instructed, until Jimmy Howell unfurls the hanky. And Ralph, you've got to be patient. I know it's tough for those guys to do.
Eli, it's been really confusing down here in the last minute in Jeff Gordon's pit. At the beginning of that, they thought that they had the right to decide whether or not, as the pole guy going into this last 10-lapper, that they had the right to decide whether they start on the outside or the inside. Jeff wanted the outside. NASCAR said, no, we'll tell you where you start. You'll start on the inside. Now, they knew that it was up to the starter to start the race. They say they went when they saw the green. NASCAR says otherwise. NASCAR has the final say.
So again, they'll get the 1-to-go signal when they get back to the stripe. And false starts in that final segment have become somewhat the norm as opposed to the exception.
Come on, 200,000, I'd probably start in the middle of the back straightaway. You kidding me?
You do what you got to do.
Looks like Jeffrey Bodine has a problem. The Power Team Monte Carlo, remember, having transmission problems. That was documented by, I believe, Glenn down on the pit lane earlier, or possibly Steve, but in any event, we've been keeping you informed on the tranny problems for Jeffrey Bodine.
That's too bad. He did such a good run here tonight.
He's lagging about a third of a lap behind everybody else right now.
Eli, they had the black flag out as he come back.
Only has 4th gear was the last report we had gotten from the pit road. That's a heartbreaker. Former winner of the Winston. Matter of fact, now in turn number 2, as we watch, Jeff's about out of steam. He's trailing those guys by about 800 yards or so and turtling along.
he might be trying to anticipate the start there, since he only has high gear, and start accelerating as he goes into turn 3 to build up a little momentum on this group.
Now let's see what happens. You've still got 10 laps to go. They will wait for the green flag from Jimmy Howell.
Look at this dicing around up front between Gordon and Stewart.
No green yet. No flag yet.
That's on now.
And Bodine is caught up in the back, but he was just right. That's what he did.
Tony Stewart with the lead and a power move to the outside.
Exactly right. They don't call him Tony the Tiger for nothing. I've watched him in midget, sprint cars, you name it. As far as just pure bravery, I don't know anybody's got any more than he does.
He's got to be wiggling inside. When he won that No Bull 25 qualifier, he just made it clear he was taking the trophy home. Not that man, not Joe Gibbs, not the coroner. Tony said, I'm taking it home. He was so proud of that. Look what he's doing tonight.
And he's so concerned about the right thing. One of the other reasons he hustled back from Indianapolis today was to do a photo shoot for the cover of TV Guide for an article coming out later. That I've got those responsibilities I've got to take care of. Let's go to pit road.
Eli, we heard Tony Stewart tell his crew he got snookered by Jeff Gordon on the first restart. That was a huge break. The fact that they restarted that, he didn't know what to expect, but you can see he's out in front now.
Call it 5, maybe 6 car lengths.
Back and forth Earnhardt with fresh tires right now, making good advancements up through the field here. You see him right on the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff Gordon slides up a little bit. Here comes Earnhardt.
Good scramble. That's the third.
Those 4 fresh tires are getting the job done.
Oh, he slides up into Gordon there.
Gives him a little room, though. Could have taken him out, and they all used their heads. Sterling's to the inside in the 40. Here comes Mayfield in the 12. Fighting with Bill Elliott in 7. But the leader is a half second up on second place. But that's closing in a hurry. Here comes Terry Labonte chasing down Tony Stewart. What a storyline this would be.
Oh, let me tell you something. Don't count out Texas Terry. He is coming. Look at this.
That. Oh, boy.
I'm going to tell you, Earnhardt's not going to live, if that's what you're waiting on.
I don't think we're going to wait for Earnhardt to live. Jeffrey's running well. Transmission trouble or not, he's right in there.
Yeah, once he got going, he was there.
5 to go.
Michael Waltrip behind him. That's that battle from 4th on back. Up front.
Here comes Terry Labonte on the inside of Tony Stewart down into turn 3.
The winner in 1988 trying to do it again in 99. Terry Labonte takes the lead.
Stewart looking to the bottom now. Not quite strong enough to make that move back off the corner, but now he starts to look to the inside of Terry Labonte.
The fans just cheering wildly here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, baby, that's all the racetrack. Tony Stewart got loose.
Joe Gibbs watching his driver, Tony Stewart. Should something happen to these front two, you've got Jeff Gordon running in 3rd. You always need to remind everybody of that in the Winston. Boy, once Tony got loose, I think that might have been all Terry Labonte needed.
No, 2 tires versus 4 tires.
Terry took on 4. White sides only for Tony Stewart. These guys aren't into moral victories, but regardless what happens tonight, Tony Stewart acquitted himself so well.
You know, they talked about Terry Labonte was not that good in practice today, and they were going to adjust on this car. Whatever they done, they did the right thing, believe me.
Couple of laps to go. Terry Labonte is up by a second now. There's the leader. Lap and a half remaining. Rick Hendrick and all the Hendrick Motorsports second place. $200,000 about to go to Terry Labonte. Here comes the winner of the Winston for 1999. Terry Labonte wins. Second place, Tony Stewart. Jeff Gordon will finish in third. Earnhardt comes home fourth. And yes, Rick Hendrick, you're going to victory lane as the fireworks begin to light up the nighttime sky here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Good run for Terry Labonte. Spectacular night for Tony Stewart. And whatever you want in racing, you had it tonight here in Charlotte. We're going to victory lane with that crew, Andy Graves and the Kellogg's Bunch. Right after this.
Hey, Ray, those brake pads really did the trick. Great. I got a couple more things I need. Do you think you have these?
Think, no problem. Hey, Jeff, can you get these for Dan?
I'm on it. Hey, Dan, here you go. Anything else?
No, I think this'll do it. Thanks, guys.
Not as fast as Charlotte. Yeah, I know. I was a little slow in that turn at aisle 3.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
When friends get together, the work's all done. There's one place to go when the weekend comes. Ford Country. Look at that truck. Ford Country. Gonna kick up some dust. Ford Country. Where the open road runs. Ford Country.
Get to the Tough Truck Stampede at your local Ford store.
Whenever you see racetracks around the world, you usually see Mobil 1 signs. So many people think that Mobil 1 synthetic is only for high-performance cars. Well, let me dispel that myth for you right now. Mobil 1 can improve the performance of almost any car while protecting the engine even under the most severe conditions. So, for the same reason the race guys use Mobil 1, so should you.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Guys, I'm coming in.
What is it, Mike? Is it too loose?
No, it's my kitchen. I want to remodel, but I don't know where to start.
What? Dave, you're the kitchen guy. Get in here. Okay, here's what you do.
When it comes to home improvement, there's no better team to work with than Team Lowe's. Lowe's, proud sponsor of Winston Cup Team number 31 and its World Championship pit crew.
Hey, Larry, let me talk to that kitchen guy again.
It's for you.
Well, we saw that exact same scene 11 years ago to this very day, May the 22nd. That's when Terry Labonte last won the Winston. Let's go right back to victory lane and do it again 11 years later.
We had Terry Labonte climb from the car. A very happy Texas Terry Labonte. Obviously, his wife Kim standing right behind me. She can't wait to get to the man. And here comes the confetti. What a jubilant crowd this is. Terry Labonte. Congratulations, man. First thing, get a kiss from Kim there. Yeah, get the important stuff out of the way. Now, we heard all weekend long about how bad the car was, how you guys were struggling. What in the world did you do to it besides the 4 tires on the last stop?
We just bent the fenders in that early part of the race. It was better after that, I think. Now, those guys made some changes on it, really worked hard. We were scratching our heads. We were in trouble early today, and we just kept working at it. Made some changes and adjusted every time we could there. So I just got to thank Kellogg's, our sponsor, Advance Auto Parts, Quaker State, Chevrolet, GMAC, all the people that helped us Mountain Dew. We couldn't do it without all their help. And just a great win. I tell you, this is a surprise. We never expected it. I know there's a lot of guys that fell out today that would have been tough. But, hey, it was a good run for us.
$207,500 is your take. But the one thing I want to ask you, if you know, the last time you won it was in 1988 on May 22nd, same day.
Well, I heard that, and I thought, well, that's good, but I'm starting in 13th spot, so I wasn't sure about that. But it's a good run for us. Got to thank my owner here, Rick Hendrick, John Hendrick, all the Hendrick family, and this is cool here. I'll tell you, we're excited.
Well, you can certainly tell they're excited. We'll go back up topside for a minute. Eli?
All right, Glenn, the 8th time that Chevrolet has won the Winston. And for Terry Labonte, it pushes his earnings in 14 running of the Winston to $822,000. We're back to wrap it up after this.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
Sleek. Sophisticated. Stylish. And yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Freeman.
How are you?
Tommy?
Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
In our quest for the finest brakes in the world, we tested our pads against other leading brands. With pad after pad, in test after test, the results were always the same. No other brand stopped shorter than Performance Friction Carbon Metallic, the ones we stock at AutoZone. We've heard your complaints about changing your oil filter, trying to grip that slippery filter. That's why Fram, America's #1 filter, now has Sure Grip, a rough textured top for easy gripping and installing.
It makes changing your oil filter a lot easier.
This summer, if you can dream it up, Sonic can put it in a cup. We've got hundreds of drink flavors you can mix and match. Plus, our 44-ounce Route 44 big drinks. Enough choices to let your dreams run wild.
Sonic America's driving.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Winston NASCAR's All-Star Race has been brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. And by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. Well, as the fans now begin to head for the exits, why don't we check out the final results, see where everybody came home. All of those drivers right there on the lead lap. Jeffrey Bodine persevered with his problems. The other driver on the lead lap was Darrell Waltrip, the final driver on the lead lap. And, of course, a lot of destruction in that first segment of the Winston.
That certainly changed the complexion of this event, no question about that. We lost some of the best racers in the event, but turned out to be a good race again, as always, here at the Winston.
Jeff Gordon finished third. Steve Burns is with him.
And Jeff's out of the race car. Jeff, you've won this race before, but not tonight. Tell us about your run.
Well, it was a good run. We were really strong, those 30 lappers. Hate to see that wreck happen. It took a lot of good cars out. But, you know, we took 2 tires. Felt like, you know, we were racing the 20 and the 40. But it looked like 4 was the way to go. And you know, we've won this thing by taking 4. We got beat tonight by somebody that took 4. But I really thought we'd be fine on 2. The biggest thing for me was I didn't want to be on the pole. It was a huge disadvantage to be on the inside going into 1. I thought maybe if I got back behind Tony, I might be able to get him back. But then Terry came charging up through there. My car just did not stick the way I wanted it to there the first few laps. And 10 laps is a lot longer around here than you think.
I believe you. Thanks, Jeff. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, we're with the Rushville Rocket, Tony Stewart, and boy, what a show you put on tonight. You win the Winston Open, you come out so strong in the Winston, you got snookered on a restart, but you come back and finish second, and now you have to go back to Indy to see what to do up there with your car. Give me a quick summation of your night and how it went for you.
Well, I mean, the Winston Open was a great race for us. You know, Greg Zippodelli and all the guys in the Home Depot car did a great job making adjustments to make sure that we were a little freer for the Open than we were last night in the 25-lap race. But you know, we went to the Winston and tightened it up a little bit because the runs were a little shorter and got too tight and just kept fighting that all night and kept making it better and better. But we just got snookered on the restart that got called back with Jeff. And trust me, he's still got some sprint car driver in him for it. So for everybody that thinks he's forgot where he's come from, he's still got it. Don't worry about that. But you know, after we got the real restart and got going, we just got beat by 4 tires. You know, Terry was strong, and we were actually better than he was right before the end there. And you know, he gambled and rolled the dice, and it paid off for him.
I think he thinks I tried to run him up high in 1 and 2, and it was all I could do to keep from wrecking us. I just drove it in too deep, and, you know, tonight was a good learning night. I mean, I learned a lot tonight that's going to help us for next week, and hopefully he won't take it personal, and he'll understand I just made a mistake.
Eli, quick shower, and he's going right back to the airport, headed to Indianapolis. He's going to see how everything goes in the second day of qualifying up there. He likes the car he's got on the field already. If it'll hold, that's the one he's going to run next week at the Brickyard.
He was some 220 miles an hour in qualifying, and, of course, he'll be running the 600 as well. Next week, back to point racing. There you see the Haviland point standings, brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. That's how they'll be going to the post next weekend with points on the line in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Back to Charlotte in a moment.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. Where did you come from, baby?
The delicious chicken sandwich at Burger King. It might not be a miracle, but at just 99 cents, you gotta admit, it is kind of sexy.
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
I never thought when my son moved away that I wouldn't see him for 3 years. It's just a tractor for my grandson. But this trip I wasn't gonna miss.
He's sleeping.
This is for when he's older. My son had built his own life.
Hey, Dad.
He got a John Deere.
Of course.
But he still appreciates where he came from.
The LT-133 from John Deere. At under $2,000, it's possibly the best lawn tractor ever built. And it's the only one with a past as bright as its future.
Welcome back. We want to tell everybody that TNN Motorsports is offering special merchandise that commemorates tonight's running of the Winston, including exact die-cast replicas of the flashback Wrangler Monte Carlo and the Eagle One Taurus that Dale Earnhardt and Mark Martin drove this evening. To order these or other great products, why not call the toll-free number you see on the screen, 1-877-TNN-1999. That's 1-877-TNN-1999 for those special die-cast cars. A better way to help remember all that shook down here, and I think that's the operative term, at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Guys, I don't think we were disappointed, except that you would have liked to have seen all the big names around for that final shootout, but, you know, that's one of the byproducts of this race, always has been.
They run hard here, and things like that happen, no question about it. But we had a good race, and that's what everybody came for. It was a good race, and we sure saw one.
I got a feeling if it all stayed in the race, Terry Labonte, the way that car was running at the end would have been a factor no matter how many cars were in there.
How many guys now go and make significant changes for next week?
Well, if I was Terry Labonte, I would paint that boy and bring him right back out here because that is a serious race car. Jeff Gordon's got a great car. So many of these cars. Tony Stewart, I mean, I'm sure they learned a lot here. Like he said, what a learning experience.
Darrell Waltrip came home in 11th today, and things went well for him, but this is one of those evenings that we'll all remember. Earlier in the Winston Open, we had a slapping, banging, and beating kind of night going on as Tony Stewart got the win. David Green had problems early in the race. And that was really just the harbinger of things to come, because Dale Jarrett found himself spinning later in the day, along with many other drivers in the actual running of the Winston itself. And then everything began to unfold as you normally expect it to on a big carnival-like night here in Charlotte. Yep. That's what the Winston oftentimes is all about. Hope you enjoyed our coverage from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Buddy Baker and Dick Berggren up here alongside me. Glenn Jarrett, Steve Burns, Ralph Shaheen, and Larry McReynolds are on the pit lane and in the garage area as we all sat back and watched some great racing. But it was Terry Labonte who, when the chips were on the table, took it to the house and wins the 1999 renewal of the Winston. I'm Eli Gold. For all of us at TNN Motorsports, we bid you good night from Charlotte.
TNN, America's country home, is a service of CBS Cable.
It's country music's biggest night.